You've seen it, right? Some brilliant new digital system gets rolled out and it promises to make everyone's life so much easier. But instead of a round of applause, it's met with, well, a wall of resistance. So today, we're going to unpack a playbook for turning that resistance into real, actual engagement.
So let's kick things off with a story that's probably all too familiar. Let's imagine an HR director, we'll call her Sarah. She has found this incredible new system that's going to simplify payroll, streamline recruiting, free up everyone's time for more important work. She is genuinely pumped about it. But the moment she announces it, boom, she hits that wall. Employees are skeptical, managers are dragging their feet, and even the IT team looks totally overwhelmed.
Yeah, I'm willing to bet this sounds super familiar. It's that classic moment where a really great idea slams right into the reality of human nature. So, what is really going on here?
Well, this brings us to a huge, fundamental misunderstanding that happens in so many digital rollouts. The issue isn't really the technology. The real challenge, and honestly the real opportunity, is somewhere else entirely.
And here it is. This is the absolute core of it all. You can have the shiniest, most expensive software on the planet, but it is completely worthless if your people don't actually use it. Real transformation is, and always will be, about the people.
And this slide just lays it all out, doesn't it? It shows the two paths any new tool can take. On one side, it's seen as just another thing being forced on them from the top, maybe even a threat to their job. And that, of course, leads to resistance. But on the other side, it's seen as a solution, a tool to make their life easier, a way to grow. That is the path to adoption. And your job is to guide them down that second path.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you actually guide your teams down the right path? Well, it's not about forcing anyone. It's about leading them with a really clear strategy. So let's walk through this 5-pillar playbook for getting it right.
First things first. People will always resist what they don't understand, so you absolutely have to start by building a compelling story. And I'm not talking about an email announcement or a mandate. This needs to be a meaningful narrative about why this change is happening and why it actually matters to them.
And building that story really comes down to these 3 things. 1, don't talk about software features, talk about the frustrating problems it's going to solve. 2, you have to frame it in terms of what's in it for me. And 3, connect it all back to the company's bigger mission. Make it a conversation, not a command.
Pillar 2 is huge because you cannot lead this charge alone. Every single organization has those natural influencers, the people that everyone else listens to and trusts. Your job is to find them and get them on your team early.
Think of these champions as your advocates on the ground. Their job is to spread positivity, to address concerns from their peers in a way that leadership just can't, and, most importantly, to lead by example by actually using the new system. They become this invaluable, authentic feedback loop for you, a bridge between the project leaders and the rest of the team.
Okay, so you've got your story and you've got your champions. Now comes the journey itself. It's time to equip your people with the skills they need and to manage those inevitable emotional hurdles along the way.
This next pillar is all about building confidence. It's simple. People will not use a tool if they don't feel comfortable and competent with it. And remember, building that confidence is a process. It is not a one-time event.
And this is where so many companies get it wrong. They schedule a single, mandatory 2-hour training session and they think, okay, check, job done. But really, is that enough to make someone comfortable with a whole new way of working?
Yeah, spoiler alert, it's not. Not even close. A one-off training session is basically destined to fail. People forget things, new questions pop up, and everybody learns at a totally different pace. You have to think bigger.
So, instead of a single event, you build an entire support toolkit. We're talking interactive sessions where people can actually get their hands on the software, short video tutorials they can watch anytime they want, a dedicated help desk for tricky questions, and maybe even a buddy system that pairs tech-savvy folks with those who need a little extra help. Now, even with the best training, some resistance is going to happen. It's inevitable. And here's the secret. That resistance is almost never about the technology itself. It's an emotional response. It's about fear. And the only way to counter fear is with empathy.
Just look at this breakdown. It's so telling. Look at what's really driving the resistance. It's fear of being replaced, anxiety about something new, worry about looking incompetent in front of colleagues. These are deeply human fears.
And because this is a human problem, it needs a human solution. The wrong way to go is to just dismiss these fears or try to mandate compliance. The right way is to create safe spaces, like open forums where people can voice their worries, to actually listen with empathy, and to reassure them with a clear and consistent vision of how this change is going to help them, not hurt them.
Okay, we are in the home stretch. You've communicated the why, you've empowered your champions, you've provided support, and you've managed resistance with empathy. So, how do you lock in that success and make sure this change actually sticks for the long haul?
This last pillar is all about fighting change fatigue. You know that feeling when a big project just seems to drag on forever? To keep the momentum going, you have to make progress visible, and you have to celebrate every milestone, no matter how small it seems.
This right here, this is what a win looks like. Don't just tell people things are better, show them with a powerful, tangible number. When you can go to an employee and say, hey, this new tool is saving you half a day of tedious work every single week, the value becomes absolutely undeniable. You can also show that momentum visually. Sharing a simple chart like this proves to everyone that their hard work is paying off. It shows that the initial struggle is leading to real success, and that encourages even the most hesitant people on your team to finally get on board.
You know, when you put this all together, this whole process completely redefines the role of an HR leader in a digital world. You're not just implementing software anymore. You become a change enabler. Your main job is to design a strategy that makes people want to embrace what's next, all because you put them at the very center of the plan.
And that leaves us with this final, really powerful question to think about. In your own work, in your own organization, are you just focused on rolling out new tools, or are you focused on truly leading change? Because that is the difference between a tool that gets ignored and a transformation that actually succeeds.